Yeah. So like the way I relate to Israeli elections, I think like all of us, like especially Palestinians who have an opinion about it. So like our opinion about Israeli elections is kind of like irrelevant, because like we are waiting for the Israeli public to produce another oppressor. Um, so that's it. Like from the first elections in the state of Israel, like that was, I think, won by David Ben-Gurion, who's responsible for murdering more than 15,000 Palestinians. We've been ruled by Ben-Gurions. The difference between them is like the number of Palestinians they murdered, the number of Palestinians they turned homeless, the number of Palestinian families they robbed of their property. So that's the outcome of Israeli elections. I would like to see like an Israeli election like completely outside the Zionist ideology, you know, in the same way like we managed to see an elections taking place in South Africa outside the apartheid ideology. So and then maybe I'll have an opinion, and maybe then I'll choose not to participate. But until then, like the outcomes of Israeli control over Palestine continues to be the same. More Palestinians expelled. Service is primarily provided for the maintenance of the regime, for the maintenance of the state the way it is, and yeah, like these are the ongoing realities. Now, yes, I see like how we would see like Naftali Bennett or whatever like racist figure serving in the Israeli parliament would be like more aggressive. But I have a lot of hope from the fact that we survived like a lot of criminals. We survived Ben Gurion, we survived Moshe Dayan, we survived Begin, we survived Ariel Sharon, and just bring it on. Like we do the exact same thing that every oppressed society has done through oppression, which is primarily survival. You know, right now, like that's what we collectively do. And I guess like I don't see anything beyond, you know, survival that we can collectively do, which is like when you look at it in this way, like Israeli oppression has been going on for 70 years. Not many of us as Palestinians like are even aware of the depth of Israeli oppression, because we are very much focused on finding shelter, very much focused on feeding our kids, very much focused on, you know, the day-to-day issues that any normal human being is focused on, while we live in a completely abnormal reality. So like I honestly like believe like the best thing we can collectively as Palestinians do is to continue surviving Israeli oppression, regardless of who is doing the oppressing. Because the only outcome of Israeli elections is another racist figure that's either okay with maintaining an inferior status for Palestinian individuals, or is actively, you know, taking advantage of that form of inferiority. So yeah, like if they will bring us Bennett, like I would say, bring it on. You know, what else? Like, you know, like when we're talking about 66% of the entire Palestinian society, you know, being displaced, 66% of us, more than half of us are not even allowed to step a foot in Palestine, you know? So how is Bennett going to make it worse? Like if Bennett is going to do anything, he might finish the 66% to 100%, you know? But which I think is difficult, and it's impossible without like Nazi-like bloodshed. But if that doesn't happen, then we'll continue to survive. Just bring it on.